Let's bring in Eli Manning. Won a couple of Super Bowls. Of course, one of the stars of the Manning cast, joining us on behalf of Quaker Oats, which we'll get to coming up in a moment. Eli, good to see you twice in a month. How great is that?
I know. This is awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you, Dan.
you're like a member of the team, or I feel like I'm a member of the Manning family here. So this is good. How has roughing the passer changed in the last, let's say, 15 years?
I think it used to be just about just the timing, like kind of, hey, the ball is released. You had was it within a step? If he takes two steps and then hits you, it would be roughing the passer. Then it kind of changes. Hey, no hits to the helmet, and which trying to with the concussions, everything going on made sense. Hey, you can't just dive. You can't even have their hand hit the helmet, and then it's kind of turned into the driving into the ground, eliminating that. But it's hard, and I think anytime you start kind of getting, hey, the judgment, did he drive into him, did he hit into him, guys are competitive, they're trying to strip the ball, sack, make sure they wrap up and make a tackle. It's I see it, it's hard on the defense, hard on the refs on some of these calls. And you can go super slow-mo and see, hey, that he didn't really drive into him, or can you toss him, can you swing him? It's very judgmental, and I think it's hard to officiate.
Okay, would you be in favor of replay?
I think you could. I think I'd be in favor of replay to see whether, hey, that was truly a a foul, just because it's such a big play. I mean, I think of a lot of it times it's third down, and it's whether it's like a turnover basically. It's whether, hey, you're getting the ball back or 15 yards, first down. I mean, that's a huge play. You get someone an extra 15 yards and a first down. I think the chances of points being scored is going to go way up after that. And so I'd be okay with replay just because it becomes such a huge play.
The pass you had to David Tyree wouldn't have happened. You would have been in the grass. They probably would have tried to protect you, I'm going to guess.
No, I don't think so. I don't agree with you there. I think that was clean. I think fourth quarter Super Bowl 2-minute drive. I don't think they're going to call in the grass right there at that moment. I think they would know I'd be willing to take a hit for an extra second to get out of there.
Once again, people call it the catch, and I call it the throw, the scramble. So just want to let you know. But is there preferential treatment? That we see this with the NBA, we see this with baseball, sometimes with pitchers or batters. Is there preferential treatment when it comes to calls in the NFL?
Well, I mean, I think I think of it this way: of Brady, he's 44, he's not 22. It's like he's an old man out there. You're kind of like, oh, that's gonna hurt him. He looks a little frail. It's not like Josh Allen, who's like 250 pounds, and it's like you can't toss him around, you can't move him that much. And so maybe with a smaller guy, it looks like it's a much bigger hit, and therefore they can call a grounding. But I think it's like, hey, we got to take care of this guy. He's been around. We don't want him to get hurt. So I don't think there is, like, on purpose. I don't think a ref saying, hey, I'm really gonna protect this guy. It just might look differently, a hit on some quarterbacks than others.
What is Brady, 4 years older than you?
Yeah, I think 3 or 4.
Isn't that weird that you're sitting here talking to us and Brady's still playing?
He's still playing. He was playing. Yeah, he was playing when I got into the NFL, and he's playing long after I left the NFL. And I consider I played a long time, and so and he's playing well and playing at a high level, and so give him a ton of credit. And he's it's amazing. So he's got some good genes. He's doing something right in his preparation and keeping his body safe and not getting hit, not getting injured, and be able to heal quickly. So there's a lot of things that he's doing that are truly impressive.
Okay, how long did it take you to get ready to be Chad Powers, and how was your body after Chad Powers' tryout?
It took 2 hours of makeup. 2 hours of makeup of just sitting there.
But how about the arm? How long did it take that to get ready?
No, the arm, Chad, you can't. Chad's arm is good, so it's strong. It was ready,
Yeah.
and so that part wasn't. I wasn't worried about the throwing part. The 40, I was a little worried about, but I knew like, hey, I can cruise through a 40, and even though I'm saying think fast, run fast, I'm thinking don't pull a hammy, don't pull a hammy, don't pull a hammy. So that wasn't, I didn't come out with a big burst. What I was worried about was the 5-10-5 shuttle drill. I mean, that's kind of where you got to get low, you got to touch the ground. I mean, that's some cutting involved. That's where you twist an ankle, you do something there. And I knew I had to throw after doing all these things, which was going to be the entertaining part of this whole show. So I'm like, I just got to get to the throwing part where I can, get with the coach and start talking and get through some of these, make up some stories about Chad.
Okay, but who are you channeling? Who is Chad Powers in your mind that I'm going to try to be him when I'm in this character?
I don't even know. I think it's just someone who, it's a little bit, his uncle Kenny Powers definitely had an influence on him. I think his uncle Austin Powers also probably a little influence. So, I think those two guys, have played a big part in Chad's life and just, growing up and watching them as role models. So, but I think it's just more, it's just, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what was going to, come out. And luckily, it just, it's just kind of, I was quiet really the first 30 minutes of the whole shoot. I didn't really say anything. I didn't want to come in and people would be looking at me. I knew I was going to look ridiculous already and be older than everybody and just kind of be like, who's this guy? But I wanted to say, hey, this guy's here to work and he's just doing the drills and doing everything. And then once I kind of, got with the throwing part, got with the coach, and he was curious about who I was and started asking questions. That's when I started making up stories and kind of got a little confidence and a little cocky and started, having some fun.
Tell us what you're doing with Quaker Oats.
Yeah, excited to partner up with Quaker Oats and with Quaker really because one, I love oatmeal. I've been the last 15 years. I've had it almost every morning of my life, and so I'm a big fan. But also, like Quaker, I believe that the circumstances of life should never be a barrier to good nutrition. So a part of Quaker's commitment to help advance food security in the U.S., they are introducing the Quaker Hunger Clock in partnership with Feeding America. And their goal is to raise $500,000 by Super Bowl 57. And so, that's beginning this weekend. You can go to QuakerHungerClock.com to find out how you can learn more information and to donate to Feeding America. So it's a great initiative and happy to be a part of it.
Do you drop the kids off?
I drop them off sometimes. I did not drop them off. I did not drop them off today because I had to come, kind of get prepared for your show and had to shave and, do all this stuff and make sure I'm looking good and have my stories prepared for what you might ask. But I will drop off some days, or at least, we have kind of two different drop offs and kids are all different ages. So I'll take one of them or do some pickups. So, I'm trying to do my part.
No, it's nice. But, the Giants playing well, it feels like I'm seeing a lot more people wearing Giants jerseys than I have in about 10 years, Eli.
They're coming back out. They're coming back out.
Have you bought into the Giants? Like, is this real in your opinion? And now as an analyst, not as a former Giant.
Sure.
Are they for real? Playoff team.
I think they're for real just because they're just playing good team football and they're finding ways to win. And it's not always like the prettiest thing the first half, but it's like those teams that have something. They're like, hey, we're a second half team. And they understand that they're not going to freak out if they're down a little bit. They're not going to get worried if they're not playing the greatest at certain times, and they can overcome it. And, we had that a little bit in the 07 team. We were an away game team. We were terrible at home, but we would play great on the road and win on the road and, can make comebacks and be a fourth quarter team and be a 2-minute drive team. So you have that little thing that you feel confident that you're going to be able to find a way to win. I think it's a good thing. You don't always wish you had to be a second half team. You wish hey, why can't we play this way the whole way? But if you have it and you're not going to freak out at times and get worried during certain circumstances. So, I think going against the team, Green Bay, good team, coming back on them, defense stepping up, having, kind of a goal line stop there or a red zone stop at the end to win that game. That's a big momentum swing and gives some, kind of makes the rest of their wins look a little bit more valid.
Have you ever gone as you at Halloween?
I've never gone as me. I usually wear the same, not to give it away. I'm a big mask guy. And so I have like an old man mask. It kind of looks like Freddy Krueger, but I don't think it's Freddy Krueger. I think it's just an old man. I've also gone as Chucky, like a full mask. So, I'll kind of I guess I'm going as me. I'm wearing my normal clothes that I would have been wearing that day, but just kind of throw my mask on.
What about going as Peyton?
Yeah, I could go. I think people would figure that out, but I could try that. Just go full Denver uniform, or I guess maybe Colts, maybe throwback Peyton, Tennessee.
Tennessee. Well,
Tennessee.
You can't wear Tennessee.
That's true. But if you're in costume, I think you can.
It's great to talk to you as always.
Dan, you're the best, pal.
Thank you, buddy. Talk to you next month. That's Eli Manning, the two-time Super Bowl champ, and visit QuakerHungerClock.com to learn more about how you can donate Feeding America.